my fellow mobile gamers? In today's video, we are taking a look at some tips and tricks to take down Quest 1540, this hard difficulty boss battle thing. This is a hard battle, and we're gonna go over some tips and tricks that could help you. You know, just a little bit of things that you might be missing out on. Just try it, and maybe it'll give you that edge to take down this boss. Because I know a lot of people have trouble with this boss, including me. I definitely had trouble on this boss. First thing we're gonna go over is the Soul Linker. Now, the Soul Linker we're gonna want is defense type. So right here it says weak to defense type, and also it is to note that the boss is magical. So we're gonna go over to our Soul Linker, and we're gonna go and look at our defensive types. I'm gonna just go to Codex real quick and defensive types. So what is the best defense Soul Linker you should use for this? Well, what I've been using is, and I've had horrible luck. I keep getting Can't Drone. I keep getting this guy. I got like 4 of them now. So I don't know if that's good or if that's bad. I can almost make him a 7-star, which is pretty cool. But the one you're really gonna want for this boss is Europia. You're going to need her most definitely. I'm not saying that it's not doable with Can't Drone or Amayu, whatever. I can't say these names. But Europia is pretty much your best bet. If you can get a 6-star heroic Europia, you should pretty much be set on that boss. This will help you out so much. But Can't Drone just hasn't been doing it for me. I mean, I got Can't Drone maxed out at level 60. I'm struggling with him. He's just not that good for the bosses. As you can see, it even says he's recommended for PvP RVR. But that was just the one that I just keep getting. So this was my only 6-star. So it's been rough for me. So like I said, I highly suggest you get her. Put the Mystic Gloves on her that increase her magic attack. You could go with the magic crit damage decrease or just the magic defense. Because again, our opponent is magic defense. For this one, I just have magical evade on. And then you're going to want something like magical attack for passive, magical defense. Again, I just went with basic things. Now, another thing that's super important, and it may not seem like a huge buff, but this can give you just the right edge. Let's say you're getting really close to killing the boss. You got maybe like, 10, 20, 30,000 HP left, and you keep getting killed. You see, he's so close to killing him. Do this little buff, right? You're going to go over to the world. We're in Methium. You're going to scroll down right here. Hero of the Dark Invasion. Claim buff. You can claim this buff once a day. So some people may not even notice it. We're going to click here. We're going to move here. I'm just going to teleport real quick just so I can show you for video purposes. And this is going to take you to the little shrine right here, right? We're going to click on this little shrine. Bam. And we can acquire the buff right here. Buff acquired. It will give us a damage increase of 5%, and it lasts for an hour. Don't do this until right before you're ready to do the boss battle. So if you're like, okay, I'm going to do the boss battle within an hour of getting this buff, then do it. So we'll hit the buff acquired, and bam, we got a 5% increase in damage. That helps out tremendously if you're struggling, like you're really close to killing the boss, but you just, you need a little bit of an edge. You need that little bit of boost to your damage right here. That will give you the boost. Next up, we'll take a look at my skills. Skills are another thing that's super important for boss battles. If you're struggling with a particular build, just switch it, try something out. You might be using a PvP build by accident and you didn't realize it, or a PvE build. Just try switching your skills around and you will see a tremendous difference. That's what I changed up. I have a whole, this is my boss build right here. These are my boss abilities, my boss skill right here. So I switched that up and it helped out a tremendous amount. It helped me get even closer to killing the boss. So again, I highly suggest you do that. You just want to have the best equipment possible. Nothing too crazy there. For our shoe, again, I just have the best shoe that you could really have. I have this heroic one right here. And we're just getting magic penetration, magic accuracy, win attribute additional damage, and magic defense. Again, we just really want to buff your attack as high as you can, pretty much. I have equipment 23, basically 23s, 21s, 20s, nothing too crazy. Again, for the magic stones, we have like tier 6 and tier 7 magic stones, mostly again focusing on magic attack and magic defense. Once you get into the battle, there is a specific way to attack the boss. There's a small little pattern, and I'm just going to give you a little tip, and it might help, because again, this boss is super hard, and we want to keep our defensive soul linkers out as long as possible, and we want to keep them alive. We don't want to have to like cycle through a bunch of them. We just want to keep one main one out, and there's a special way that you can maneuver your character so that your soul linker will pretty much avoid most of the attacks. The unfortunate part about this game is we really have no control over the soul linker. So what we have to do is we have to place ourselves in a way where the boss will target us in the area to do their special attack instead of targeting the area where our soul linker is, because our soul linker doesn't move. Like we can't like say, oh, soul linker, go over here, you know, and that's a huge feature that I hope they put into the game. If anybody at Netmarble is listening, I would love to see a feature where we could command our soul linker to move out of the way when the boss is going to do one of their big special attacks with the red areas. We need to have a way to just like move him out of the way, because otherwise the soul linker just stands there and just attacks, and then he just gets absolutely demolished. He's like, oh, and just dies. So let me show you the specific way right here. And again, this is just for training purposes. We're not gonna really pass this. Again, and that's a whole nother reason why. I have another video coming up after this about another thing, so you'll have to just subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. There's something else that I wanted to talk about. It's a little bit of a controversial topic. Some people feel one way, some people feel another way, but I'm gonna try something out and we'll see. The first thing I want to do is I want to get him like in the middle. I don't want to have him in the corner. Now this is where it gets important, okay? Now watch. Right here we're going to watch. Watch. All right, we're going to dive out of the way, but our soul linker stays there and just gets smacked. All right, so what you want to do is you want to stay on the opposite side of your soul linker, so that way you see he targeted me with his special ability and the soul linker didn't take anything. See how the soul linker is staying behind him when he does his special? So you have to like keep moving right here, and that's just a way to keep your soul linker from really taking any damage, or at least getting stuck in that like stun. Otherwise the soul linker is just gonna he's just gonna get demolished because there's no way to move him. I wish there was a way to move him, but this is like all we can really do right now. Just kind of stay on the opposite side of your soul linker, and that way your soul linker will never take that stun damage. You can just keep going back and forth again, just stay on the opposite side. So the whole idea of these boss battles is they're very, very focused on your soul linker. So I don't want to say it's like a paywall, but it's put into place where if your character is really strong, it doesn't necessarily matter too much. It's more about the soul linkers, because the soul linkers put out so much damage against the bosses that have like the weakness, right? Like they specifically made it so that like this is the weak to defensive type, so you like need to use a defensive type. It's like it kind of almost like forces you to use a defensive type, and you have to have a strong soul linker to do it. And Camp Drone's ultimate ability, it completely removes him from the battlefield. So it possesses the summoner. It increases our main character's attack and defense. But the problem with that is we just do our regular attack and defense. It's not, the boss isn't weak to us. The boss is weak to the soul linkers, the defensive soul linkers. So we want to have our defensive soul linkers out on the battlefield longer because they put out more damage. That's why Europia is so much better, just because her ultimate increases her attack by a percentage or an amount. And she heals, right? So even if you don't even look at the heal, you can at least trigger this ultimate ability, and it will keep her out on the battlefield doing more damage to the boss. Whereas Camp Drones just completely removes him from the battlefield to buff us. But again, we're not going to be doing as much damage as a soul linker for a boss battle. Well, you know, it's a lot. It's crazy, but It's a lot of stuff. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We got another video I'm going to talk about. Another little controversial topic about our character's level and apostle level. And that'll be very, very soon. Try and get that out tomorrow. But I love y'all. Stay happy. Stay safe. We in some crazy times. I love y'all. Peace.